Welcome back to the best channel in the world. What you're about to see is a clip on a live trade that we took on Friday's live stream. And so let's now transition and see what the whole breakdown was.
Gap, imbalance, whatever you want to call it, gap, imbalance, FEG, it's all the same shit. There's no difference. So let's just leave that there. What do you go by, everybody? Do you call it an imbalance? Do you call it a gap? Do you call it an FEG? Because all in all, it's all the same thing. Just inefficient price or an area range. So let me just put in the center. FEG, yeah, that's fine. Imbalance. Yeah, because on my end or on your end, it might show you a gap. Does anyone have a gap on their chart on this one? Because if so, then that's just due to the whole sell-off has occurred through pre-market or after hours. So everyone, do you have a gap right here? Yeah, gap there. Okay, cool. So why I don't have a gap on my end is just because I'm using a no gap candle indicator. And if you want to get that no gap candle indicator, then you can go onto the indicator section, and it will be this one. The No Gap Candles by Ichi Pata. I think that's how you say it. So, but for me, it just helps my eyes really. And it can help your eyes as well. So if you look at Forex and if you look at stocks, Forex doesn't really have gaps, but stocks do, right? So yeah. So right now we did liquidate this high here, so we're liquidating sellers. Price is coming right back up to fulfill more orders in here. And so how do we create a supply and demand zones? You can check into the YouTube channel, how to use supply and demand zones, how to spot them. There's videos about it. There will be more videos in the future about supply and demand zones, how I draw them specifically. But all in all, what a supply and demand zone is just the last impulse move before price just made that new low, leaving behind a gap. Price is coming right back up to fill in those areas. And that is what we call a supply and demand zones, because this is just where the inefficiency is, supply in these areas to go short. So that's just why we put SZ. So just like that. So now, right now at the moment, what do you see? Price is coming right back up to fulfill that gap or that imbalance, what you want to call it. But yeah, so this is just on the way that I live trade. That means that just because I see a downward move does not mean, oh yeah, let's enter. But all in all, it's like if I did go for the breakouts in here, I would have had a negative one already, right? And so again, the way that I trade for me, for my end, is that I like to look for the break first and then look for the retest. Just like I mentioned earlier, what we like to do is break, retest, and that's just pretty much what you learn. But if you just want to go for the break, there in some cases you have something like this. You have a key level here, and they're already entering at the break below the support, and they're already profiting off that move, because all in all this right here is just a redistribution model, right? So at the moment, what do we have? I mean, we can fill in these gaps as well, but let me just outline where those gaps are. So we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low here. You have a demand zone in here on a 30-second, right? So does anyone here use a 30-second demand zone? I mean, not demand zone, a second time frames, sorry. Does anyone here use second time frames? I used to in the past, But all in all, it's the same thing as in how you view the 1 minute. It's nothing different. If you want the second time frames, you can. But for me, I can already tell based off, viewed in a fractal way, meaning that I can tell it by, AK the wicks. So, but yeah. Are you trading 0 TD? You mean 0 day TE? 0 DTE? Yeah. So, same day expiration? Yes, of course. I did swing calls yesterday, but I took a -1 on that one, and so it is what it is. So, but for today, if I enter into a trade, yes, I'm going to do same day expiration. So this is a 30-second demand zone. And I want to see if we can hold this demand zone to see if we can fulfill this imbalance in here and mitigate the supply zone. If so, that'll be good. But again, it's still part of the this overall higher high, higher low, higher high. So let me just make that smaller. So you can see that on this 1 minute time frame, what do we have? We have some sort of just bearish range. And so everything from, let's say, from here to here is just in a sell zone. Okay, so that's just what it is. It's just on how I see my eyes based off what, the way I see structure. So no trade, still cash. So if price breaks below here, this demand zone, I can look for a sell opportunity and then go short. Because remember, this whole area in here from here to here is just all what? It's in a bearish zone, or it's in a bearish range. So price came right back down, testing this demand zone based off the unmitigation S&D, and we're just waiting. So let me delete this. So I really want to see if we can hold this 1 minute demand zone to take us right back up into here. But if not, then we can look at new ranges. But yeah. So on this one, I want to see a body close. I want to see a body close, but that right there would just be pretty much intermediary structure using those S&D or using that structure, because this low is still coming from this high, and we still expect price to come right back up into here to mitigate those areas. And so all right now, what price is doing is just giving me intermediary breaks in structure. And so in this case, what I can do here is I could draw a supply zone right in here. Am I going to look for a sell in here? Just due to it being intermediary, I would say I wouldn't. I'll have to look for another break below here. So if price breaks below here, then I'm going to enter into a put. But if I don't see that, or if it doesn't give me that, then there will be no trade. So, but yeah. And again, this is just the way that I approach it on how I see structure in multi-lenses. So this is what, 425.57. So let's put that there. So again, this is intermediate supply zone. All I'm gonna do here is just wait for this to reject, and if this remains to be true that this is a sell area, then I'm gonna look for a break below 425.57, and then we can start looking for the flush. So let's see. So nothing yet. This man is the GOAT. Thank you for the comments. But yeah, again, this is just me on how I trade. You can trade this way, but I just teach my students this. And so whatever you see in here is that even though that I'm bearish, some of them are looking at as a bullish structure already, because you're seeing this as a liquidity grab, and they're using this as a fractal. Price already broke structure above here, and now they can look for another break in here to go long, to tap into the supply zone. But now think about if they go against it, now they're in a nice, pretty much a nice risk reward trade. And so again, that is just the way that we like to view price based on fractals and how we can look at it on both ends. Because if we regroup back together at the end of the day, you might be like, oh yeah, I went short, but I went bullish, let's say, then perfect. I mean, we all, at the end of the day, it's like, if you make money, perfect. If I make money, that's perfect too. So all we're doing here is just mapping out zones, mapping out key levels, and see how can we get a rejection. Can we get a rejection off a support? Can we get a rejection off a resistance? And all you need is for price to hit some sort of, whatever you want to call this, zone, fib, 50%, support resistance, but let's just say it's a resistance. All you need is a couple of points. Perfect. That's it, right? That's all you need. And so for me, I want to see, can I get a nice breakthrough here below 425.57 for me to look for shorts. But if it doesn't give me that, then that's okay, because you got to realize that you're working with a 1 minute time frame. All right, it can go bullish and bearish, but based off what we have from yesterday and today, these are the levels, right? Because Thursday, you can see from right here, this was Thursday, this is Friday, and all we're doing here is just waiting for price to give us a nice confirmation. So, but yeah, I love this man with a legend. Perfect. So 425. So I need a candle close below that line. $420. So remember, the candle has to close below that red line, because right now it can be treated as a liquidity grab, and we don't want that to happen. Because if it is a liquidity grab and we start seeing another engulfing candle, this can just start pushing up, and so we want to see a body close. Is anyone looking for a position? I mean, you don't have to take what I'm taking. This is just what I believe where price can head to. So we have another 10 seconds for the 1 minute to close again. So no closure. Snap looking to take off. Yeah. Spy hit alert. All right. All right, cool. So I'm looking at 426, a 426 put. I just need to see a nice bearish candle. We did retest into a supply zone, and so what we're doing here is just waiting for a nice retest into these areas, and I just need to see a nice bearish candle to give me a nice sell off. So what do you have? 955. The time frame that I'm in, it's a 1 minute. It's a 1 minute. It's on the far right hand side. Wait, so you think it's going to 424? Right here? No, it's just pretty much what I pretty much willing to put in. And so on this one, I would say it can go low as 423. But yeah. Keep in mind there is a gap right there as well. So when you enter into a trade, remember if there's a zone here and then a zone here, and what you can do here is you can add light here, and the moment that price makes another low, then you can add another position, and you can go off that way. So you don't have to put all eggs in one basket, and you can just go light here. And even though that you went light here, there could be some sort of equal highs, and you can just pretty much just leave a or your main order in here if you want to, right? So all in all, this morning I'm just going light, nothing really major. And let me just delete that real quick. And so again, if the 1 minute's giving me a bearish indication and it's telling me that to go short, then I'm gonna go short.
So I hope you enjoyed that clip of that live trade that we took. And so if you want to join the live stream will be hosted every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to see you on the next one. And if you want to join Vault Trading Academy, the link is in the description. Peace.